to episode number, what is this one? 51.
One.
All right, I love that.
One. Yes.
Got a show for you
got a
today.
big show for you today. It's not 420, but it is 420.
It is Wednesday.
Always.
It's hump day, so we always got
420 in here. And let's once again, let's shout out to Special K Glass NFT project. They're the best. Check them out. They're amazing. Bond's gonna smoke some out while we're vaping.
Flowers got hooked up yesterday.
Guys,
I love you guys.
Vibes
Thanks for
OG.
coming in and vibing with us.
What? And some puddles.
And some puddles.
Come on. But guys, today we are so excited. Our minds are kind of all out there. We got some amazing guys today in this amazing podcast. So let's bring the homies out. Let's bring out
Who do we got?
Beats by Optic and the homie
Yo. What up? How you guys doing?
What up, bro? We doing
The homeboys in the building.
Homeboys
in the building for real.
What are you guys working on today?
Yeah,
what
do you guys
got in the house?
Man, I got me a mixed pack, man. Thanks to Canna Cabana. We've got some Animal Face here, rocking a sativa at about 24.5%. We got some Blue Dream sativa. These are little ditties. And
Blue Dream. Hell yeah.
And then we got some frozen lemons as well too. So I'm trying to bring that multi-pack.
Hell yeah,
bro. That's what's up, dude. Nah, dude. It's a vibe, bro. I was like, we've all been. This has been a time coming for all of us. We've been wanting to do this for a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah. It took some energy and some time. I think collectively we're all so busy, right? Like it's hard to kind of make time, but you just got to make the time. So we appreciate you really working with us to accommodate our crazy ass schedules.
Hell yeah. Honestly, like you guys are really cool. And, I remember I was telling Luke all about you guys when I heard you guys in the space and heard you guys vibing with all these different things you got going on for the community and how community driven you guys are. It's truly amazing. And the fucking, it's just a vibe. Like it's never a fucking, space where even when you guys had a mint like space, it didn't feel like it at all. Like you guys are all about just bringing people together, vibing together, getting to know each other and keep uplifting each other's spirits and push each other. So I really, really admire you guys
for sure
as far as that goes, because you guys have a big community of people,
Man, I appreciate that greatly. And, since we got into this whole thing, I think like who we are as a person is a reflection of who we are like in Web3 and, having that extension kind of like, I don't know, that's always been a focal point for Optic and I as well too. So when it comes to community building, but when it just comes to relationships, it's like being real. People want to hang out with people that they like, and so, yeah. And I appreciate you saying that because like, as long as Optic and I have always been together, like it's never been about a shill. It's about hanging out. It's a vibe. And, later on, inevitably, as we've been building and there's various things that we'll talk about today as well, too, in terms of like projects and involvement. It's just kind of like spun into what it is today. So, yeah, we appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, bro. Well, let's get all Barbara Walters on each other. I want you guys kind of tell us your story, man, how you guys came into this amazing Web3 space, and I know you guys are fucking artists, so let's talk about that.
I guess I'll start a little bit. So I know I came in the space probably around mid-December and was pretty much brand new to the scene, had done a little bit of research, had a friend who introduced me to Web3 who is an IRL friend who's a very dope ass hip hop producer, sound engineer. He's been in the space. Tried to get me in before, but what ended up happening was I really didn't understand what the hell was going on, to be honest. And then I came back in mid-December, mostly because a friend of mine who's happens to be an old childhood friend who's a top 5 Billboard producer, lives out in LA. He dropped his first NFT project. So I was like, all right, I got to tap in. I got to support the homie. I've always been, bullish on his, production and what he's doing. he's worked with everybody from like, Drake to Rihanna to, you name it. He's up there, right? So goes by Frank Dukes if you want to look it up. But he came out with an NFT called Ghost of Frank Dukes. That was the first NFT that I ever minted. I still hold it. Happens to be a dope ass musical NFT. And for anybody who knows Frank Dukes, his catalog says the rest essentially. But I got in here mostly to mint that, and then kind of stuck around. The friend of mine who goes by Unk Funk, who brought me into the space, shout out Unk Funk. He essentially, gave me some advice, which was, if you want to pick up the alpha and the information and meet people, you got to get Twitter, bro. You got to have a Twitter account. So I fired up the old dusty Twitter account, got on Twitter, started jumping into this thing called Spaces, which was super wild in the beginning because, it was just talking to a bunch of random people hiding behind JPEGs. And I remember at the time, everybody happened to be rocking these like alien friends and Krypton goons. And I didn't know what the hell an alien friend or a Krypton goon was at the time. But I just remember being in those spaces and vibing out with some, now legends, but people like Metadad, Chulo, Alpha, Kyle Munson, so a bunch of the people at the time who, later on have gone on to do amazing things. But at that time, we were all just random people just trying to connect with others amongst this Web3 space. So it was super cool because I came in and it was such a vibe in these spaces. And in the beginning, there was maybe 4, maybe 6, maybe 8 people in a space. And you got to get really cozy and close with these people because it wasn't these big, intimidating rooms. However, there were bigger, intimidating rooms. But yeah, we ended up just kind of vibing and connecting, and I met some amazing people. And not too long after, I ended up minting another project where I met ApeX. And it was crazy because hearing the dude speak, you're like, yo, this dude's fucking a legend. Like, this guy's amazing. Like, just such a chill vibe. And when you're hiding behind PFPs and you're not really getting to see the people, and at that time, obviously, people weren't really doxing themselves. So you're solely going off of the vibe and the energy that you're feeling from people, right? So I just felt this vibe from ApeX, and it was like no other, right? You know what I mean? I was like, is this dude on fucking mushrooms like all day long? Like, what is going on, man? This guy is way too cool to be like real. Like, this is crazy. So anyways, nonetheless, like, I was just admiring what he had to say and his chilled vibe. And then we kind of followed each other. It just happens that at some point we're hanging out in spaces. I've kind of been like, messing around with beats since I was 16 years old. Hence why I know some of these, music producers, yada, yada. So nonetheless, I just felt comfortable at, a month in saying like, you know what, I'm going to use this space just to show my beats, put them out there and see what people think. Right. Like, we're all living in our basements at the time. It's COVID. It's this, it's that. I'm like, fuck it. I got nothing to lose. I'm going to put some beats out there. Obviously you can see the records, right? So I decided I'll put some beats out there, see what happens. So I happen to be in a space playing some of my beats, and this dude ApeX just all of a sudden starts dropping bars on them, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy, man. Like, the dude is literally dropping heat, and this is somebody who I'm already like, pretty hyped on. And now not only is he, got super good positive energy, but he's got bars. And so that was kind of like where it all started. I'll let you go from there, I guess, ApeX.
Hell yeah.
That was awesome.
I love that. ApeX.
Yeah, man. So my journey in the beginning, so like I got in back in March of 21. So I was relatively whatever at that time. It was pretty early, and it all started for me with like the pandemic was hitting, and I started doing this deep dive into like finance and like what is money and what is money really is what it kind of where it started for me. And then I really just kind of did this deep dive into like trying to educate the shit out of myself every single day, just like learning and learning and learning and learning. And then it kind of led me to blockchain and, what is Bitcoin, and, reading the Bitcoin standard, really beginning to understand like what the blockchains are. First thing I ever invested in, was Bitcoin. And then I like bought into some Cardano, and then I bought some Ethereum, and then I like bought a bunch of other little altcoins, and like really didn't know what I was doing. It went up and down. I made some money, I lost some money, but I was really just trying to teach myself, because that was kind of the whole point, was like, how do we use these tools? And like, that's a bigger level for me, is like, how do you use the internet to make money? I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've based my whole career around that. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, this is the new, this is the new age. So anyways, long story short, I was playing in that game, was getting into it. And then my homeboy, Happy Brad, he minted Oni One Force. I don't know if y'all remember that project or not, but he minted a really rare one. And like, I didn't even know what the fucking NFT was. I was still trying to wrap my head around that. Like, what is a non-fungible token? And like, why are these animal JPEGs so much money? And like, what's a Bored Ape? And like, I barely missed that boat. And anyways, he had offers for like $45,000 US, like the day after he minted it. And I was like, what? And so that really opened up my eyes. And then, I still wasn't in it yet. And then he minted World of Women. I think it was not too long after that.
Heard of them.
Yeah. And then it was like, and then I was like, oh, fuck that. Cause he got two, like he had two of them and they were both rare. And then I was like, I'm in the game. And so, that's how I entered into the game, cause I already knew how to move money around, and I had a, wallet.
Yeah.
And, I understood all that.
You understood all that.
Yeah. So then I like started just like, getting heavily in, and what I wanted to do was the same thing that brought me in there in the first place, which is just trying to educate myself and learn. So, I was fortunate. The first few projects I got in, I flipped, I made like a bunch of money, like right off the bat. And the NFT market was super hot. I mean, shit was just going, left and right. And anyways, I had some failures as well too, but my same homeboy, Happy Brad, was like, hey bro, there's this thing called Doodles. It just minted. You need to buy one, sell the farm, do whatever it fucking takes. It's one, it's basically one ETH, buy in. And at that time, ETH was like 4,000, whatever, buck or more. I mean, it was high, and anyway, so I was like, all right, fuck it. I've seen him do this twice now. And so I bought into Doodles, and that was such a beautiful move. It was just luck, it was just luck really more than anything. And then once I got into that ecosystem, it really kind of opened up my mind about what was possible. And I really began being active in the community, and then, kind of grew this whole thing organically, really, of just kind of like trying to be myself, and be a positive version. And then, I've done a lot of things along the way in terms of like, just like helping people, because that really kind of resonates with me and like who I am. Yeah. And I started really expanding and really getting into just a shitload of projects. I mean, I've dipped my toes in so many projects because, like, once again, like I want to learn communities. I want to learn people, I want to expand my different communities, and just try and get like as much exposure as I can. And then, kind of that's what led me when I met Optic. It, was kind of like he said, like when he started, breaking down some tracks and I started freestyling, it brought it all back. And it was like him, like me, like I was 14 when I started rapping. And, this is like something that was just a big part of my life, especially when I was younger as well, too. I've been in a lot of bands and things, but like I've been running companies for quite a while. And that kind of part of my life, like kind of went away, but it was weird because Web3 brought it back, and it brought back like just love of music, love of hip hop, love of just like culture, love of just like people being fucking rad and hanging out, because it was the pandemic and it was all these things. And then we started just developing these relationships that really blossomed. And like Optic and I's relationship, like really, really blossomed into a point where like, I've spent more time with him than any of my best friends in the last years of my life. And as well as like a lot of these other people. And, you kind of fast forward to where we are today, like, there's a lot of things that's happening. Optic, co-founding highlights, which we'll get into as well too.
Right.
And ultimately, Optic and I, leading to the Lost Artist Collective, which is, what we launched together was a dream that basically started in the same way, which was like, how do we, we recognize that, there was a need for artists. They really don't have a voice and a platform. And we kind of inadvertently kind of created a platform for artists, with artists, by artists, for artists. It's a very different mentality. It's not like the flip mentality. It's a different game. It's really fine arts and collecting art by kick-ass artists. And anyways, that's a whole nother thing that we can get into, but kind of, it's what's led us to here today. It's been a fucking miracle. And even if like all my investments were to go to zero, I could say that the relationships I formed here in this space far outweigh anything, because the physical impact, because it extends this into the physical. So like going to South by Southwest, it was unbelievable being able to put all these, relationships that we had formed here into real life. And then going to NYC NFT was just further concrete proof. And that was the first time that Optic and I had ever even met. We had been talking for like 6 months, like day in, day out. And then we had an Airbnb rented in Manhattan together. And it was the first time I met him, is when he comes strolling in, I was already there. And it was like, when we shook hands, it was like we'd known each other our whole life. I trust him with my kid. I trust him with my money. Like, that's how deep it was. And then, and so here we are, that's kind of my journey so far, man.
Yeah. I just want to chime in and just kind of say like too, so that gives you a little bit about like where we met.
Right.
But before me and ApeX really got sizzling with what we do, I had met in those early days, probably around early January. I through Metadad and Chulo and stuff, I met Chillin, right? So we all know that, lovely British voice. Shout out to Chillin, who does the Coffee Cup Club, right? So he does the Metadad and Coffee Cup Club spaces in the morning, right? So I met Chillin, and that's how our relationship, me and Chillin, began, because he had the Coffee Cup Club, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I haven't seen any coffee NFT projects in this space. Like, this guy's onto something. And so I reached out to him. Again, this is early stages that I came into the space, and I was like, are you looking for any, mods? I didn't even really know what the hell a mod meant, to be honest. I just knew it was called a mod. I didn't know what the responsibility was. And I dived in to help him out with Coffee Cup Club. And that's kind of how the relationship with me and Chillin began. And we actually went and we were doing morning spaces, because at that point I had already started doing some of my own spaces and jumping into Metadad spaces. And at some point, through hanging out in the spaces, I ended up actually making a good, relationship with Chulo. And I had just kind of said something to Chulo that resonated with him. And when he was ready to start his own project, which was the Feline Fiends, he actually asked me if I would come on as a mod. So I ended up modding with the Fiends. That's really where I got a lot of my understanding of really what it is to be a mod, and to kind of ride through seeing the beginning, the pre-mint, the post-mint, all of that through the Feline Fiends. As that was happening, I got busier with them. So I kind of said to Chillin, hey, listen, I can't really do the morning spaces as much. You should hook up with this dude, Metadad. And that's kind of how that all began and has turned into what it is, right? But at the end of the day, I learned a lot, just kind of holding my own spaces and doing some modding with the Fiends and some other projects. And that's where I got a little bit of more understanding of, I guess, call it the back end, right? And, while doing those spaces, I constantly wanted to still do the spaces with ApeX and with music. And because our relationship kept building, we just kind of said, hey, listen, like, well, everybody else is kind of, making the PFP, essentially be their IP, so to say. Let's make ourselves stand out. Let's make our name stand out, not just our PFP. So it's a little bit different than what everybody else was trying to do, because everyone's hiding behind these PFPs, whereas we didn't want the PFP to define us. We wanted the name to define us. So we just took our names, hence the the ApeX and Optic.
I love
And
that.
we started doing actually before we had these kind of like so-called 30-minute pop-up spaces. We actually had a night which was part of my homie Unk Funk, me, and ApeX. We called it the Beat Lounge, which is something that me and Unk Funk had started, many years ago. So kind of just took that name. On Saturday nights at 9 p.m., we were doing the Beat Lounge Presents ApeX and Optic show. And we had people come in, and all we were doing was vibing with people, kicking freestyles, and just chilling. Essentially, kind of what we're doing here, other than, obviously I'm not playing beats, but we were just chilling, right? And just vibing with everybody. And I think people really took an interest in that because it was different than anything happening in the space at the time. And then me and ApeX kind of turned one day to each other, and we were like, it doesn't really make sense for us to have this like defined time where everyone's got to show up, because that's not really Web3. That's like,
Yeah.
now you got to be like, that's corporate. Let's make this fun. Let's just do it whenever, we kind of feel the vibe, because we wanted it to be pure. We wanted it to be original. We wanted it to be authentic. So I kind of said like, hey, let's just do pop-ups. Like, let's just kind of pop up a space whenever we feel like it. So we went with the whole like, 30-minute pop-ups. The funny thing was they were never 30 minutes. They were 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever, right? But we kind of just branded this so-called theme. We've since then kind of moved away a little bit from the 30 minutes. We just call them pop-ups now. But we kind of started that whole like just pop up a space, kick it with everybody, vibe out, chill. And that's where a lot of the vibing, the, kicking freestyles, as well as just making people feel comfortable to even come up, even if they never freestyled a day in their life, they'd come up and just want to try to jump in, or, at least just come say hi and hang out and vibe with us. And then next thing you know, we were like talking about our friends' upcoming projects. We were featuring people. And that's kind of a little bit where the whole like highlighting people came from. And so what ended up happening is, after a little bit of time, Shilly's best friend in IRL, his name's Glitch, who's part of the highlights, 1/3 co-founders. He actually was the one who came up with the concept for the highlights. And Shilly reached out to me, knowing that me and ApeX are kind of already got this vibe out there in Web3 and doing our spaces. Plus, I had already done stuff with Shilly on the Coffee Cup Club tip, and he just said, hey, I got this concept, this project I'm thinking about. What do you think? So anyways, that's how it started. So it's really the founders of the highlights are me, Shilly, and Glitch. And then ApeX is kind of, my partner as far as our brand goes. So he's really helping us on the marketing tip as well. And we kind of set the vibe and the tone. Shilly has his vibe and his tone in the morning spaces with Metadad. And then Glitch is doing more of the Discord stuff. And then together we kind of set a vibe all through the Web3 space. So we got good coverage. And we constantly just have always been individuals that are highlighting others, that are giving people platforms to come up and talk about what they're up to, talk about their space. Sometimes even if it's just to come in and say good morning, we've given them that outlet. And then through that, we've been able to create this brand called Highlights, which, although ApeX isn't a co-founder, he's technically, a partner in it through me and through my journey through Web3. So he's been there, helping out and kind of, crushing it on the marketing tip. And then obviously he brung up, the whole lost artist thing, which we can get into in a little bit, but that was also developed as this is all going. It's essentially just our journey. And we just continue to just be ourselves. And really, whenever we did these pop-ups, there was no set agenda. It was just, let's fucking kick it, do our thing, vibe. And we've met all these amazing, talented people. Let's just talk about them. Hey, yo, Ogre, what are you up to? Hey, Evan Hilton, what's going on with you? What are you doing? What's happening with you? And we recognized our friends with talents and with skills, and we just decided to talk about them and highlight them and not just make it only about us, right? And so I feel like we kind of provided this early platform for people to come up and vibe out with us, but also feel confident and comfortable to talk about what they're doing. So anyways.
Oh yeah, bro.
I love that. I think it's you guys are bringing it through your art, you know, bringing into that. And I know you guys are part of another, isn't it like an art project that you do as well?
Yeah, so that's the Lost Artist Collective. So, you know, at the end of the day, me and Apex, again, we're kind of a little. I know it seems like all over the place, but
No, no, no,
we're,
no.
we're kind of following our passion, so to say, right? So
I love
it's
that.
like not only are we learning, you know, to invest and to you know, understand, you know, Web3 and the blockchain and, you know, what's going on with the whole Web3, but we're also trying to grow our own brand as well as highlight others, as well as, you know, now shed a light on artists. So what
Yeah.
ended up happening is, as our relationship has grown, me and Apex, and our brand is growing, we kind of said, listen, like, let's use our energy, our following, our, you know, tools that we have in front of us to do something friggin' amazing. And what can we do um, that really is kind of something positive and that we can be proud about, and really something that's not with the whole degenning and the flipper mentality, and
Yeah.
even something like the highlights where it's a large community. What
Right.
can we do that is what we really are passionate about, which is art and artists. And we realized that we had so many talented people in front of us, and we had in our journey helped some of our friends mint out their projects just from having them come up and talk in our space. And next thing you know, the space pops off, and boom, we mint out a 100-piece project. It happened. It was not planned. It was not something that we, you know, sat on the phone and said, okay, here's how it's going to go down. It literally just happened organically. And
Wow.
there's a magic in that. So we started to realize, holy shit, there's something special here. Like, we have the ability to inform people and let them know what's going on with this particular person. We're I don't even like to say, like, we're not influencers. We're just essentially shining a light. People get to make their own decision. We're not like, yo, you gotta mint this. We're just like, hey, here's this person. They're doing some cool ass shit. This is what they're up to. This is what they're going on. And their project's live. Like, if you want to go mint it, like, go do that. We're supporting it. If you want to support it, great. If you don't, that's okay. And people followed us into some amazing artists, such as, you know, like, let's talk about like Little Pills, you know,
Right.
Mint, like, you know, just a friend that I met through Apex, right? So we kept seeing that. We ended up doing that, and we actually had friends turn to us and say, hey, would it be cool if I talked about my project in your space? And that's how we started to realize, okay, you know what, there's something special here. People are enjoying this, and it's always been around art, and we've
Right.
always been doing it in a way where we're trying to highlight our, call them our friends. Obviously it starts with friends, right? It starts with the people we know, but we're trying to highlight artists and our friends at the same time. And so
Yeah.
what ended up happening is, me and Apex said, hey, like, you know, let's do something here, because we've always wanted to do a project. It just had to be the right thing. We weren't going to just do something just to do it. We weren't going to do a cash grab. We weren't going to do something that didn't have longevity in the space. We weren't going to do something that was outside of, like, you know, our beliefs and, you know, what we felt was the right thing in the space and in our hearts. So we essentially just kind of talked. We ended up speaking with each other and just kind of brainstorming on this concept. And it was myself, Apex, and we actually talked with our creative director, Ogre, and also our dev, which is Coolest Nerd. And yeah, we ended up just putting together a team of people. And then we started to go after some of our friends, which happened to be, you know, amazing artists. And we decided to create this platform, which we called Lost Artists. The reason we came up with the whole name Lost Artists Collective is we felt, you know what, at the time where I guess the whole free meta was just starting to come into play, and everybody was starting to get kind of bored and tired of, you know, this whole like grinding for whitelist, and, you know, the free mints were starting to, you know, I guess they kind of had their day and they were starting to taper off, we just kind of said, hey, let's do something different. Let's really like we believe in the one-on-one artist. We believe in our friends. We've been hanging around our friends, going left and right, buying their stuff and supporting them in their journey. We were kind of always shooting back and forth, like, what if we could have this person with that person mixed with this person? And that kind of reminded me of the old hip hop days, because I used to always be like, what if I could take this producer and mix them with this MC and mix this MC with that producer and create my own so-called mixtape? What would that sound like, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of how it came to be. And we started to see that, the artists, the one-on-one artists, weren't really getting the love and the recognition they needed. And we happened to be amongst all these amazing people, and call us lucky. But yeah, we were hella lucky. We just happened to meet these amazing people who still hadn't really exploded yet in the space. And we just said, hey, you know what? Artists, most often, they're a little bit more, introverts. We're these crazy extroverts. We're loud. We know how to market. We've run businesses before. Let's use our voice and help them to have a voice out there in Web3. Me and ApeX can't draw a stick person, but know how to shine a light. We know how to shine a light on artists. Let's use our skill to essentially shine that light on these artists and give them this platform where, again, going to the lost artist thing, we felt a lot of these artists are lost on their own. They're out there on their own. They're doing their own thing. And sometimes they're strapped to a particular style, and yet they have so many talents. So, a lot of these artists, you might know them for 3D, but they also know how to do 2D, or they're animators, or they're this and they're that. So why have them pigeonholed to one style, right? And if you think about it, like, look at a lot of these big blue chip projects. Like, we know the Burnt Toasts of the world, right? Who did doodles, but like, that's really all he can do for the rest of his life is doodles, and hopefully not. Maybe that will change in time, but everybody knows Burnt Toast for the doodles, right? So he's almost expected to do doodle art. Well, what if he inside wants to do some other stuff? You know what I mean? What if he wants to draw Spider-Man or some other thing? I don't know. Like, if he wants to do something different, is he really just kind of trapped to that? Like, I don't know. So we just felt like, hey, here's an opportunity to give artists an outlet. They can still go do their own projects. They can still go do their own one-on-ones. But here's an outlet to come and be a part of an amazing team. And we're that much stronger together than individuals, right? Like, Method Man can go do his own album, but when they're all together, everybody wants to see Wu-Tang together, right? So that's kind of what we're trying to do with the artists. We're trying to have a collective of artists that can shine and that can essentially be stronger together. And what's crazy, what's come out of it is they've continued to elevate each other's skill. They've continued to grow together and do other amazing, collaborations. And it's just mind blowing. And it's only just getting started. Like, I think, what do we have? Like 620 followers on Twitter. Like, we have nothing, but we've already minted out our first collection. We're dropping one-on-ones now, auction style on Twitter. They're selling. We're getting more than the starting bid. It's going extremely well, and it's just literally the beginning of what me and ApeX and the rest of the team at Lost Artists are trying to do. So,
yeah, and if I could just piggyback on that too, is that the idea of like artists is a very wide-ranging word, right? And it's more than just 2D art, more than just 3D. It's animation. It music. It's hip hop. It's producing. It's all across the board. It's visual arts. We've really tried to. It's writing. We tried to get a really wide range of artists in the collective, and like Optic said, in some cases, we will launch projects all together and have like basically collective one-of-one collabs by some of the biggest artists in the space. And then when we're not doing that, we're doing these one-of-ones as well too. And the beautiful thing, as I think it said, is that we didn't really mean to do what we did, but we ended up a platform that, it's a beautiful thing because of, why, in a time of like a bear market, when everything's is going to shit and projects are tough and every market across planet Earth is in a down mode right now. Like now is the time where you invest in people who are building. And building to me can mean a lot of different things, but I think for us, like building is like, look, this is an opportunity, whether you're stacking sats, whether you're building projects, whether you're extending, your career into Web 2 or Web 3 or whatever the hell you're doing. I just think that like build is what it's all about right now. And I hate to say it, but like I view this as an opportunity. I always knew that there was going to be an up and a down. And I wasn't fortunate enough to ride this last wave, on the way up.
Last one, but this one, though.
Yeah.
This new.
But this one, we will. And like the time that it happens, we will have built and built, and you guys will have built and built and built. Yeah. And that brand itself will drive that mission, and I think so when it like comes back down to like core principles, like being a good fucking person, being who you are every day, and just doing what you said you do, and then be fucking chill. Life's too short, man.
Yeah.
And
exactly. And we're bringing our friends on the journey with us. Like if you look at ApeX's shirt, that's part of our ApeX and Optic logo, and that's designed by our homie Creative Days, Diaz. Shout out to Diaz. He started that back in January for us, and we've taken that to NFT NYC. We've taken it all across Web3. It's our brand. Nice. And Diaz and his homies Roxol, Kesso, they're part of the Lost Artist Collective. They've done backgrounds for the highlights, right? Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like that's what it's about. We're taking our homies and our homegirls on the journey. You know what I mean? So it's all kind of intertwined, and like we are, me and ApeX are a representation of what highlights is about as well. You know what I mean? Although Chilli's not out there freestyling, he's one of our family members. You know what I mean? Yeah. Although Glitch isn't maybe behind making beats, he's part of our family. Like we're a family and we've grown. And the crazy thing is we all met on Web3 and we never knew each other before Web3. That's what's crazy.
No, it's a blessing, man. That's what it's all doing for all of us. This bringing us all together for a purpose. Yeah. Did you guys go to the Vegas NFT event?
We did not. We did not. No.
No, yeah, we were actually we spoke at the panel and everything, and it was really cool. We got to speak with these other filmmakers, and it was just a really cool experience. Just because you finally meet the people that you see from these JPEGs, like we said, and we finally see each other at an event. We're vibing. So it was really cool. We did when we were there, we were at a founders party, and we did like a podcast right there at the founders party. But we brought in the volcano at this like rich snot country club, dude.
Yeah, shout out the volcano.
Yeah. And we fucking blazed it the whole time. Had the podcast. We had people coming up to us, sitting down with us, and like we had like Loudmouth, Alt Mom, Gina, like all these different people coming sitting down with us. It was funny, dude. So yeah, it's a good time. So
yeah,
we missed the New York one though. It would have been so dope.
New York was sick, but I mean, honestly, they're all amazing. Like I would 100% encourage anybody who hasn't gone to an IRL event, go. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us are very similar. We want the same thing. Like, I got in the space because I hated my job. I was depressed, wasn't happy. I have ADHD, like most of us in Web3, and I needed to come into a space where I could vibe and hang out with people and feel that same energy and that love, and forget about the depression, forget about all the stress and the bullshit. And all I've met is people that are very much on similar journeys as me. Although we're all different and unique as humans, we all have similar stories or things we've been through, or we're all trying to find that same, love and equality for humanity, right? So I just feel like, it's important to get out and meet people and to connect and to network. And man, like, could I have told you back in December that I would be here? Hell no. I never thought I would have a project.
Same here.
I would never think I'd be on YouTube on a podcast or something. Like, Never. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a thing. That's not why I got into this. You know what I mean? But it just happens to be part of the journey, and it's freaking amazing. So I highly recommend people to, jump in Twitter, jump in spaces, get involved, go to IRL events, connect with people, network. And even if you don't know your reason, you will figure it out over time. Figure out what you're here for, what you enjoy. And it's so much better than, working in a corporation. So.
Oh yeah.
Dude, if I could in on that too, is that like one of the craziest things, like I think about like what Web3 has done is that as far as I'm concerned, in the history of like humanity, I don't think there's ever been a more constructively positive group of people when you find the circles that you run in. Like there's plenty of terrible shit and fucking snakes and people stealing fucking things, human nature. However, like I like since March of 21, like I personally have gone through a lot of adversity, dealing with like death and like family sickness and like losing my homeboy, like getting killed, and the reason why I bring that up though is because it's fucking incredible that the support that you get from your friends in this space mean so much and have meant so much to me. Like I would have never thought that I would have such a support structure or network. Like me as a person, I'm hurting or suffering historically, I just kind of suck it up and just take it, but it's weird because we've developed these deep relationships where like when you need support, like your family is there for you. Like, and it's easy because like my internet friends became, like real family. And then when that stems into in real life, like it's like big fucking hugs and like, just loud balls out like at South by and at NYC. I mean, it was just like hugs, passing joints around, like fuck about COVID. Like we're like fuck all this shit. Like we're just friends, and like yeah, I don't know, man. So like for me, like that type of shit really drives. And I just, like Optic said, like I'm just thankful and blessed that like we're even here and have this opportunity. And I'm excited as hell though, like every day we wake up and we're like, man, we got all this shit going on, the fucking DMs are blowing up, all these things are happening, and we're like running companies in real life as well too, and we have kids and families and blah blah blah. But like how you balance all that is such a difficult thing, but like finding balance is like that's what we're all searching for. So it's like it's a challenge, like that we really welcome.
I think the thing too with us is like we're both like 40 plus, right? So like ApeX said, when we started, I started playing beats, and that brought out the kid in him, and he's freestyling. It's kind of done the same for me. You know what I mean? It's created this kind of like having fun again. Like I remember being way back when, like making beats and kind of just going to house parties and battling people, for free weed and beer and just having a good old time. So, not that I'm that old, but like, I'm not young like that anymore. Right. So it's just kind of re-sparked that, like that interest. And I always will make beats. Like I always enjoy just, it's an outlet for me. It's therapeutic. I always just like playing around, or I like rocking, playing some records. There's just something about the sound that's different than, just sitting to listen to some watered down MP3. But nonetheless, I really, really, have enjoyed that journey and that connection, and we've been able to do that vibe. But maybe because we're a little bit older, we also see the business aspect, and we see that we got to bring people value, and we got to bring people utility, and we got to bring people the ability to connect and a platform to be able to help them out. You know what I mean? Especially because we've been through some of the ringers, you know what I mean? We've been through some of the grind. So how can we make it better and easier for people? Right. And, I hope, it's hard for us to talk just about ourselves, but I hope that our friends and the people that follow us see that we've done that. And, we've been fortunate enough to have a few, flowers thrown at us, which is nice. I'm not really a fan of really getting, that much attention and love, but I do enjoy when people, appreciate what we're doing, and pretty much when they support what we're doing, that's enough appreciation. And even if it's not financially, even if it's just a like or a retweet or whatever it is, or even if it's just saying GM in the morning, like that's love,
Yeah.
I think that's where it's heading, because we've been all in the NFTs almost around a couple years for myself, me and Luke. And it's like, I noticed that the narrative used to be more about, okay, well, it's all about Discord, hustling to get these white lists. Yeah, and that was when we first entered. Then you get on Twitter Space, and then it's like you have to listen to like certain people. Like you can't like talk. Like it was just the weirdest shit. Like, fucking weird fuck. And then like all of a sudden, this wall just broke and said, "Who fucking cares? Yeah. Just start your own space. Get your own people. Who cares if it's one other person? You guys start talking, share space, vibe." Like
I think
I love that.
That was a natural evolution for the Web3 space, because I thought so when we first got into it. I was a little intimidated by it, and finally I heard somebody say it in the space the other day. Web3 by nature is unstructured. There's not a structure to it, but that's why I had so much freedom to it. And like, so for him and I, like, we wanted to start doing the podcast for the same reason you guys wanted to highlight other artists as well. Is that most artists are introverted, they're a little insecure about what they produce, But when, like, even for me, since I came in here, like, I've all of a sudden just, I find myself on Spaces talking for hours. And honestly, that's the important thing is, like you said, what's the value? Like, and somebody comes into Web3 and NFTs and crypto and whatever, they want to know firsthand what's the value. And we always tell people it's the community. That's what you should look for first. If there's no community, no. But if there's a community and there's other artists in there, there's other developers, everybody's trying to, it might seem a little like you said, tacky if everyone's always just pushing their project like it was back in the Discord and NFT days. But then, Twitter Spaces, for sure. And that's a goal for us, is hopefully Twitter will start letting us do video spaces. Like that would be a very awesome next step for everything, and not just for us, but for anyone who's already well known in the space. Is like, okay, because they all want to. What's that?
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Like doing the videos. Like,
because it'll go there. It has to. You know what I mean? And with people like yourselves doing what you're doing, they're gonna have no choice but to start to comply with having video there, because it's that like that's just where it's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Web3, even to me still now is like, always researching it, like you said, always trying to learn new things. It feels like a jungle, but to have something like a podcast or Spaces where you can go in and kind of just mingle with other people who are going through the same thing and just really trying to find their way through what they're trying to do and produce their project, and more importantly, what they're bringing to the community, the utility and the love and all that stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like we just saw the Nelk boys, right? Do Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? Like the founders. It's happening, man. And like, people like yourselves doing these kind of interviews and giving people a little bit of more insight, with the visual, it really, that's where it's going, right? It's the same thing with us, with Lost Artists. Like, we're not doing anything groundbreaking, but what we're doing is we're highlighting artists that deserve the love, and we're putting artists at the forefront. It's like you go to hip hop, right? When hip hop started, right? Like it was the MC at the forefront, right? Mm-hmm. Or sorry, the DJ at the forefront, and the MC was there just kind of like, hyping up the DJ. And then it switched where the DJ is at the back, and the MC came to the front. And that's, we're going through that same evolution like hip hop. I always compare this world, Web3, to hip hop, right? And we're not even in the golden era yet, right? So it's like now the artists are at the forefront, the one-on-one artists, the people right? So it's not necessarily about a 10K project anymore.
Yeah.
This isn't. It's changing.
What it is, it's very spread out right now, and in the sense that people can be very successful, but in like such a world, but then you can be in another place and nobody will know who you are at all. Yeah. But then there's other places where people recognize who you are. And I feel like it's just starting to really advance and spread all over. I feel like eventually, though, we're all going to meet with the Oculus, with this bodysuit called a Tesla suit, where you could start feeling things, right, in the metaverse, right? So I feel like wearing these goggles, having a Tesla suit on, that's the next step. I feel like that's going to be, you know, where we're all going to be able to see each other. We could be an avatar, we could be a different person, we could be whoever in that moment, and like give each other high five and actually feel like from the suit.
100%. If you watch that Elon Musk, you know, interview, you know, with Full Send, like it's the same thing, right? Like these are all things I'm sure if you're out here in Web3, you're watching stuff like that. Like, you know, he's talking about Teslas where you literally just get in them and you get out. They happen to go based on what your calendar schedule says you need to be. You need to be at work at this time. You need to be home, like, you know what I mean? So they're going to make the car adapt to be able to just, you literally get in, get out. So what are you going to be able to do while the car is just self-driving wherever it's going? Well, it's going to be playing video games, tapping in on, you know, your Oculus or jumping in the metaverse or whatever that's going to be. And people are literally just going to sit there with nothing to do on a 2-hour drive or an hour drive to work, tapping in, strapping on their, you know, whatever, their Oculus, and it's all going there, man. It's inevitable. It's people are sick and tired of the shit we already done and know, right? Like it's boring, right? People need more. We're getting quicker stimulation. People want more, and people want to be having that feeling of freedom and that feeling of being able to connect everywhere. Like, yo, we got to definitely give props to the internet, right? Like the internet has made us be able to connect everywhere. Like we're literally working with an artist in Australia. Well, I'm in Canada, you know, and ApeX is in Canada. Like that's crazy. Well, talking to people in the US, you know what I mean? Well, talking to some friend in Tokyo, like that's fucking crazy. Where, like, thank you, internet. Thank you, Web3. You know what I mean? So this whole next journey that we're going to go into, it's just the beginning. Like it's so early. So it's cool to see how it's continually evolving, and what we were doing in December isn't what we're doing now. It's cool.
Yeah.
Have you get involved.
Oh no, go ahead.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear. Have you heard? I heard some developers say that like the biggest challenge for Web3 right now with NFTs and cryptos is that the internet is still in its by design, it's still in its 90s phase, meaning it hasn't evolved much beyond like just point and click. Like when we want to be on a space or do anything with NFTs and crypto, what do we got to do? We have to get on the internet. The point is the next evolution is going to be when we don't have to rely on just like a single internet, but it becomes, we're living in that internet. Like when our brains don't need our physical bodies to operate anymore. That's called the singularity. When we can reach that point where we don't need the human body to move around or have our own thoughts. Our own thoughts are our thoughts. We exist solely up here. Right. And so when we can exist outside the internet and within the internet at the same time, but yeah, like you said, with COVID and everything like that, like the last 10 years, I think technology has evolved. I think people's thoughts and awareness have evolved a little bit, but I think we as human beings, you know, body-wise, all we do when we go anywhere, we're just sitting there on our phones or on our laptop. We're always, what do you call it, dialed in. You're always dialed in. That's even 90s way to put it. That's what they said back in the dial-up. But like, point is, we're all logged in, and we all want to exist in this space. We don't want to be anywhere in the real world right now. The real world is just, you know, it's become what it's become, but it hasn't evolved at all. It's all about keeping control of everybody. So if they want to control us IRL, then we have to take control in the metaverse and in everything that we're doing right now from this point on.
Yeah, we're early pioneers, to be honest. Like
all of us are,
like we're super early. Like we're all trying to figure out, we're all trying to carve out this thing. It still hasn't figured itself out. For anybody to say they understand Web3, nobody really understands. Like nobody really can say like, oh yeah, this is the metaverse. You know, the metaverse has it. We are in what we consider the metaverse, but it's not the metaverse that we're talking about, you know, being super like trapped in our Oculus. Like, yes, that exists, but it's not to the extent that, like we still haven't run around other side or, whatever. Like it's still, it's going to be crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Like, and hearing people out there like an Elon Musk and all these people that are actually trying to get things to go a certain way, it's insane. Like, I heard him say, like, what the hell is really, what's death? Death is just when we log off.
Yeah.
Like when the mind can no longer be logged on. That's all death is, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, who's to say that at some point, we can't just have that continue, right? Because things will get there, through technology where, yeah, maybe our physical body is gone, but now your mind can go into this so-called metaverse and continue on, because it's like a game, right? It's just when you die in a video game, you just restart, you come back, you start again, right?
Yeah.
So that will eventually, humans will bridge that. Hopefully, who knows how many years, but they'll bridge that gap. Somebody like an Elon Musk will bridge that gap where eventually, yeah, physically you might lose your body because of age or health, but you'll be able to take your, mindset and put it into a so-called metaverse, right?
Yeah.
Because technology is going that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're talking about technology now that deals with your brain cells that can actually control your body parts for people who are, not physically able to use certain body parts or whatever. Like neurologically, they'll be able to tap in and have those be able to, kind of like what we're seeing, I guess, with AI, right? Like, where is AI going to be in 10 years? It's crazy. Like we haven't even start to really understand where things are going, but it's starting to build. It's early stages, and we're definitely, in that early stage of it and where it's going to go. And yes, I do believe eventually it's all going to come into here or into here, as opposed to
into here,
as opposed to
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
No more.
That's crazy, dog.
That's why the community is so important, because the technology is going to evolve past that.
Regardless,
we're going to be struggling.
Regardless,
to keep up, so we're going to be like each other. Like
we're going to have to be like, yo,
like you say, it's awesome
good?
to meet in real life. Like it's like a family reunion when we all meet each other in real life. But it's not going to matter. We're all going to exist in the metaverse. We're all going to exist side by side. Our brains, our consciousness, and we can be whatever we want. Could be animals. Could be whatever we want to be.
But that's why it's important to also vibe and kick in some of the things that we recall from the IRL and the freestyles and, connections, because that's what keeps us also somewhat rooted to what we already know and understand. Because you can get obviously super carried away, and obviously you can go all the way to the right field. But, I think having a good balance and a good understanding is also important. Like, I always tell my friends in Web3, take a break, take a couple days, spend time with family, go outside. You always hear people saying, touch grass, do this. Like, we can't forget about the outside world as well. We have to be able to know how to play in both. Listen, we're all addicted. We love this. We enjoy this, but we also got to be able to, build families, look after our loved ones, go out and help somebody. Like ApeX went through some shit. I went and visited him when, one of his friends unfortunately passed away. Like, you still need that. You can't get that same love and support yet in Web3, right? So we still need some of that physical. And that's why we're saying, like, going to IRL events and getting that physical relationship, or making that physical connection with somebody that you're trying to build with, super important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big supporter of being physical. Like, I think there's different ways that you can, whatever. But like for me, like being physical, like in the real world, helps me to be more dangerous. Like just better. So like for me, it's like I ride fucking bicycles. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, brother.
This is my layer right here, dude.
Fuck yeah.
but yeah, but like I try and tear it up, you know, like I want to do badass shit, dude. Like I'm a big believer that like we only live this one time, you know. We have to be in the moment, we have to live it, we have to love it, like live big, dream big, think big, and then execute, you know, and don't be afraid, you know. Like I'm from Texas, man. Like I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and you know, I would have never believed in a million years that I'd be living in Canada. And you know, I think it's just, you know, I think it's just one of these things where like if you're not brave enough to just explore and like break rules and break boundaries, you're never going to know what you're capable of or possible. And I also think that in today's society, like we frown upon failure. Like we really kind of beat down on people who don't make it. And like that's a bad thing. And like actually, I believe that it's a fucking great thing in a sense that like I've spent my whole life, you know, building things and building companies, and like my greatest successes in my life are, or my greatest stories are really, I'm defined by my failures in the greatest way because I tried. And like if you don't try, then you're never going to learn, and if you're never going to learn, then you're just going to always follow someone, and you'll never know how to, you know, do shit for yourself and figure it out. So you know, like for me, like I'm all about it. Like I want to try new shit. I want to see new shit. I want to see people do new stuff and like break boundaries, you know. Like for us, like even on like the first drop that we ever had, or like our first collective drop, we're like, I want to combine music, I want to combine art, I want to combine 2D, I want to combine 3D. I want to do it all. I want to see what else is possible and just like push, you know, like keep pushing. But like, yeah, I don't know. That was like a weird, you know, it was a tangent, but yeah, anyways.
But the physical, guys, the physical to me, I think is also a very important thing right now. Call it meta, call it whatever. It's also an important thing. Like you're seeing it, like, you know, I got my ogre piece right here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
look
boy.
at that badass, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a beast, right? So I think at the end of the day, there's something to be said about the physical. You know, like shout out to Ogre. I got my own custom Optic chain. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like there's something to be said also about that, right? And as somebody who obviously is a collector, you can check the records. I mean, yeah, it's important. There's something to be said about having that physical as well. So I'm pretty hyped on, you know, taking the art and incorporating, obviously, if we can, some sort of physical and giving people, you know what I mean? So,
correct. Yeah.
We're
Pushing the boundaries.
Hell yeah, we're building our meta self, but we're still taking care of our real self. That's important.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
He and I,
we got that Mozzie joint. We got that Mozzie joint, right?
Oh, swiggity swag.
Yeah, boy.
Let's say that fire merch, bro. Yep. Yeah.
But then we got that EPMD tape cassette, which y'all know about that shit, right?
I've been taking cassette forever.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Dude, there's very few people you guys will ever meet that has an anthology and an understanding of like hip hop history. Like you'll Optic's one of the most intelligent motherfuckers I've ever met, and like I've surrounded myself with people that are pretty intelligent in this space. He makes me feel like a child, but in the best way though, because like you can just like kick back, and like there's been spaces where like Optic and I had like 60 people in, and then he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna teach a master class. And then like eventually like it was just one after another and Optic, we went for like 3 hours or some fucking crazy, like people just eventually kept dropping off because they were like, surely it's gonna stop. But like he did an anthology of like, you know, where it began, you know, in the 70s, and then like worked their way through. But I don't know, like I just throwing that out there, like for those who don't know, Optic's a motherfucking G for real. Like there's no front in here. Like this is just straight up toiling in the street. And look how many fucking records he has behind him.
Yeah, look at that. I was gonna say, look at him in the background, bro.
Yeah, that's a curated. He knows where every one of those motherfuckers are. You know, he's OCD to a point where like I am, where like I like that, but like the way his brain thinks. That's partly why like Optic and I vibe so well together, because like even we were talking about it the other day, like Optic's the doer. I'm a good talker. We're both really good talkers, but I like have more of the emotional side of me. But for whatever reason, the way that our brains work, we really work really good as a fucking team. And you know, like when it comes to like business, you know, this is advice for everybody. Like, you know, when money gets involved, people get fucking weird, and you know. So it's important that when you're going to get in bed with someone and you're going to go into business and you're going to build something that like, you know, all that shit is out front, you know, in the beginning. And like for just the fate of the universe, like I'm so lucky. Like I would trust Optic with my children. I would trust Optic with my money. I would trust Optic to fucking build what I'm going to build because I know he's that real motherfucker every day in, day out. And like, that's what's up, you know, like that's the shit that drives me, man.
We've had the ideas, but the most important thing is that we execute on them. Like a lot of people have amazing ideas, but they don't execute on it. Like, you know, Homeboi Flicks was an idea, but you guys executed on it. It's here. Like this is a dope ass setup. So shout out to you guys. You know what I mean? Like execute it. We made it happen.
Yeah,
bro. We appreciate you
guys. We spent 9 years
honestly.
getting to this point.
Yeah, we took us 9 years, bro.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves, guys? Like,
we've been doing it since 16, bro. Like, trying to like make beats and freestyle and put shit out there and vibe with people. Like, it's not like we just started it yesterday. Yeah, we adapted it to Web3, but we've been doing it. That record collection, I didn't just go out buy that last week. That's since I'm 16. That's since I'm 16 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, 100%, dude. I mean, just like when he said, like, I mean, I've been like into rap my whole entire life. Like I remember I was like 10 years old wearing a Lone Limit Soldier emblem chain, dude. Like I was into like Master P and fucking Cat, you know, Juvie and fucking just, and I was just into the others, the East Coast too, Biggie. I was just into like, you know, Ben. I don't know if y'all know Benefit in New York. He's this kind of underground, you know, guy. And it's just like, dude, hearing those sounds and the beats and the vibes, it just, and then I met with homies and we were like, dude, my homies had like different instruments and we were just getting fucked up all night and just hitting the different pedals and just creating beats and just flowing, just fucking around, just vibing and just doing shit. It was so much fun back then, you know, like that was before no social media, nothing, just fucking doing it because we were so in it. Like, we would just go to the like bars for a little bit. We cruise back. We're like, fuck, let's just create. We just create all night. It didn't even matter.
But that's what it's about, right? Like, I think what's cool with Web3 is we can take some of that old school knowledge, meet these young, super gifted, talented people, merge it all, teach each other, share different things. Like most people in the space smoke weed, skateboard, listen to hip hop, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like that's just what it is, right? Do graffiti, listen to reggae, like it's just we're all from a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not so far apart. That's why we all vibe together and we get it, because you know at the end of the day it's just about a vibe, right? So all of us have maybe not the exact same experience, but similar things that are intertwined that we can all relate to for sure.
No, I mean it's cool how you guys came together like that, just like him and I, man. I mean, it's like it was just kind of magic and like not meant to, like just it was meant to be. It was just like random because how the situation, it was not forced at all. It was just all just kind of like, well, at the time I had a shitty camcorder, shitty mic, and I made a short film and I was looking, you know, for an editor, someone really good. And I knew this guy's roommate at the gym. And so he told me about him. And then we just like fucking just like hung out once and just fucking smoked out. And then it was kind of like, that was it. Like we kind of like, we're like, all right, bro, cruise it. And then once he cruised over, we just started going back and forth on the material. And then him and I, like we've made 150 short films. We guerrilla styled every single one of them. Right now we're working on a feature film right now. And so.
But that's what it's about, man. You hustle, and eventually all that work will come into reward. You know what I mean? But you got to work hard for it. It doesn't come easy. And anybody who's made it will tell you, yeah, sometimes you get lucky, but at the end of the day, if you're not constantly out there to maybe catch that luck, it's never going to happen. You know what I mean? So
preparation meets opportunity. You know, you put in that time. I didn't realize that you guys had been at it for so long, man. Are y'all? So you're West Coast?
Yeah, bro. We're like out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in the heart, man. Dude,
we're gonna link up at Friends Fest. Let's go.
We're gonna link up right there.
I'm flying out tomorrow.
That's tomorrow?
I get up 5 a.m. and I'm flying out. Well, the event's on the 16th and 17th.
Damn, so you fly out tomorrow, huh?
Sheesh. Yeah. You know, got those stickers ready, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Get in if you have an alien friend.
Yeah.
You can get in if you have an alien friend. I'm pretty sure if you have like a highlight, a feline fiend. There's a bunch of different, like a Corky's.
Yeah, we could just go there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think registration may be full.
It might be full, but you just pull up and show them. I'm sure people are going to be coming and going.
Yeah, they're going to be coming and going. We'll talk to Bree. We'll get you in, dude.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna throw up roadblocks. You know, it's a community.
Okay.
They all want to hang out.
Let us know, bro. I know. I kind of like. I know. You know Jerry from Alien Friends, right?
Yeah.
Radio, Friends Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you pull up, he'll be out there. King Combat. If you pull up, it'll be good, man.
Okay, cool.
Just DM me when you're out there. We'll talk for you, man. We'll make it happen.
Squared away.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, tonight, just a little shameless plug, but tonight,
please tell us.
Lost Artist Collective is hosting a space at 8 p.m. East Coast, and we're going to be featuring none other than. This is going to be his first one-of-one that he's dropping with the Lost Artist Collective, and if you look at Optic or if you look at Lost Artist Collective's pin post, you can see the one-of-one we've shown.
I think he's rugging a bit.
ApeX is rugging.
Oh no, I'm rugging.
No, you're good.
You're good. You're back.
I'm back.
You're back, bro.
I'm back.
Yo, it's not even space and you're rugging, bro.
No, what the heck, dude? It's just the internet, man. I live too far out in the country, man. Optic knows where I live. I live on a big ass farm. I'm like a hobby farm out here, so it's a little bit in the sticks, man. It's the only downside. But yeah. Anyways, we're gonna Ogre's dropping his piece. We're gonna it's gonna be a pretty tight space. It's probably about 45 minutes, maybe an hour long. Tops, probably maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe hour 15. But it's really going to be a chance to just learn about Ogre and his artistic journey, and it's going to be dope. Just fucking dope as hell. It's all about Ogre, really. And then we're going to be dropping that piece live. It'll be a 24-hour Twitter auction.
And then you're doing that with different artists, right?
Yeah, so that's going to be Lost Artists.
Yeah. Every week we're featuring a different artist, one-of-one that we're.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about it on the space, bro. I was just like, yo, I got to get these guys on our podcast. This was just when you were like just starting it. I remember when I was like listening in on your guys' space with some people. Yeah. You guys were like just talking about it, like, yeah, we got this going on right now. We're going to start having these artists on a weekly basis. I was like, oh, that's sick. Like, that's really cool. That's really cool, especially really dope for the community. So, no, man, I wanna do this giveaway thing that we told the people.
Let's fucking go. Let's do this shit.
We got seven.
Then we got 7 people in the house.
So
if you're here, hashtag Ogre.
Oh, hashtag.
We got Uncle Rye. Shout out Uncle Rye. See, we got Coolest up in the building. Jono. That's dope. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was up with Cracker Jack. We were getting a history lesson from him or something. I'm not sure. All right. Got OG in the house. Antonio. All right, here we go. Luigi and Antonio.
Let's go. Shout out Luigi and Antonio.
I love you guys for coming on, brother. Antonio, we got you on the list.
That's what's up.
All right. We got 3 people on the list. Who else is here? Antonio, OG, D's Nuts. Oh, what's up?
I see Jono in there. I see Jono chatting.
Dude, y'all don't want to win a free NFT right here?
We got 7 of you in the house. Y'all got
and right now we got
there's four vacant.
Oh, whoa.
Meep
Merp.
Oh, shout out Meep Merp. What's up? What's up, homie?
What up, Meep Merp? Thanks for hanging out.
Welcome to the
Jono's in the building. What's up, my G? Archer's in here too. What's up?
Adam Reed.
Let's go.
All right. We got 5. We got 5. Y'all want a t-shirt?
Adam,
and an
it says
NFT?
Archer here is 2. Where's Archer though?
Yo, Archer.
Archer, where you at? Oh, Coolest too. I see Coolest in the building.
Coolest in the building.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait,
Coolest. You still in here?
Yeah, Coolest, you still in?
Hey, Kool-Aid.
Well, wait, there's technically 5 people on the list.
Seb 1's in the motherfucker. What's up, Seb 1?
Oh, Seb 1.
All right, Seb.
Okay, so there's
Stick
6.
around, Seb 1. If you want a shirt and NFT, you got to be here when we spin the wheel.
Let's go.
We got it for everybody. Hey, mad love to you guys.
Yeah.
Who's on the list?
Yo,
Who do we got? Read them off. Seb 1. Yo. What up, Seb? Thanks for coming in, brother. Hope you got to hear what we all been chatting about.
We got OG, Luigi, Antonio, Meep Merp, Adam, and Seb 1.
All right.
And Archer.
That is
anyone else?
That's 5 on 5.
That's 5. All right, let's do it. We're gonna share the screen, guys. Oh, did you wanna show the NFT first? I mentioned that, right?
Well, I mean, it's gonna
it doesn't
be.
matter.
Yeah, we could.
Oh,
just...
Coolest. See, yo, gotta add Coolest.
Oh,
gotta add Coolest.
We got
There he is.
6 people in the building.
Coolest. All right. Boom. All right. Luigi, you know, you're right, bro. It is rigged. Just so you know, it's rigged.
It's a rigger, dude.
Yeah, we're rigging everybody. It's rugged.
It's a rug.
It's a rig rug.
Here we go.
All right, who do we got?
Love you, Coolest. Keep killing it.
The Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Who's gonna be the winner?
All right, guys. Mad love to you guys for being in here with us. We're gonna spin this wheel. Who's gonna be the lucky one this week?
Let's go.
That's right. LA all the way, OG.
All right, ready.
Go.
Woo! Who's gonna get it?
Antonio.
It's your boy Antonio.
Wow. ApeX, didn't you say you grew up in San
Antonio?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I did, man.
Antonio, you got to be following ApeX and Optic, Homeboi Flicks. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's the homie. Antonio, send me your wallet, bro. I'll send that over.
Yeah, dude.
And yo,
congrats.
Yeah, and yo, you gotta send it to
Optic.
You gotta send it to the wallet address to them, and then also you gotta send your address, your actual address to us, plus your t-shirt size. So that way we can send you the shirt, bro. Get you squared away.
And of course,
let's show the viewers what they're getting. Can y'all see that?
Well, we're going to tell you what you guys are getting too, just for coming on the show. We're going to give you guys specially made Homeboi shirts too with the with the highlights graphic that you saw at the beginning.
You guys are gonna get that.
Let's go. Dude, let's go. Let's fucking A. Thank you.
I love how we're all like exchanging merch. We love sending shirts out. We got an Ape reunion poster over there. You know, we got all kinds of stuff. It's amazing.
Hell yeah, bro. We're gonna make it rain, make it happen. And I wanna say this, Optic. I mean, I figure before we head out, why don't we drop a little beat? Why don't we do a little flow really quick?
All right.
Close, Honda.
I don't know, like you guys. I can share my SoundCloud. Can you run the beat there? I don't know how to tap it in.
Oh, What do you?
Would you be able to play it off your like rig into the live?
What are you playing?
If you send it to me on, you mean if you send it to me through Twitter message, DM?
I send it here on private chat. You just pick a beat and we'll crush it.
Oh, there it is.
I just don't. I don't think I can.
Oh yeah, play it while you're streaming.
I don't think. But yeah, like if you send it to me on like if you sent where I could just play something and I can hit the button. Do you guys know who Crypto Casually is?
No, I do not.
I do not.
No, he's like we did. Yeah, but go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I'm gonna say I can send it to you on Twitter, and then can you play it off your phone? You just go literally onto SoundCloud and play it like that.
Yeah,
all right, let's do that.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Because the problem is if Optic plays it from his, I don't think the audio will come through right.
Yeah, it's not gonna come through. So hold on here. Let me send you the link.
Come through. Yeah, I gotta say, guys, you guys are doing something really cool here, man. This is a really neat platform. This is the first time I've been on this platform. I think Restream's really cool. I think what you guys are doing is really cool. And yeah, man.
For sure, we want to have you guys back. You know, invite all our guests back to come on again, and we'll chill some more.
Yeah, 100%. We'd love to.
Yeah, we definitely want to give you guys, and maybe we can make it in IRL on the second one, you know, because we've been doing that with some people. We've been having a lot of people. Yeah, we've been showing up in IRL, just smoking out on camera, chilling.
Out here, right? And like we're going to Palm Springs in November. We're gonna have one on the side.
So it's all
I would have. I was gonna step outside to try and smoke a doobie with you guys, but my internet hit the shitter when I walked out the door. Yeah, next time though, I'll make sure I'm in a different location, dude. Can't leave you guys.
And I don't smoke anymore, but
next
time out there, you better believe we'll hit that Japanese whiskey. That hook
right there. He'll hit that with you, bro. What?
Look at that Optic.
Little clipper.
Got that clipper. That highlight.
Yo, what track should we drop? Beat by Optic, Trap It, Divine, Weird Streets, Slap.
Play Divine. Play Divine.
Divine?
Yeah. I'll set it off real quick.
Go ahead, start it off.
Yo, straight off the top of the dome, I rip rhymes. MCs, they want to battle, but they can't drop the lines. I'm too fresh, take you out like florets in your breath. I leave you twitching like you had to rest. I got you caught up in the zone while y'all be home, chilling out with the homeboys, just getting stoned. I got to keep it fresh like this, yo, till I reach the top. Optic on the mic always gets the prop. And yo, we keep it hot. Yeah, we represent the highlights. Do it all day, do it all night, stay right. It's all good like this. Let me pass the light, the mic to my man, to ApeX, to just excite.
Optic, pass the mic. Hold on. I can't hear the beat no more. I used to think about the streets, but it's just a metaphor for all the things that I've done through in my lifetime. With the Homeboi Flicks, I learned to rhyme on the streets a long time ago in Texas, and nowadays I've been flexing in different situation, international, and yo, we debating the some things, but I can't relate. Yo, I'm dropping it. I can't hear the shit, so better stop to it. Can't hear it, man. I literally can't hear the audio.
Yeah, you're gonna have to jump into the pop-up to hear more, yo.
Yeah. Next time we'll have the audio figured out, man, because I'd like to actually kick it.
You hear that?
It cuts out when we speak.
Yeah, it cuts out when we speak.
So, cut down on their volume. Okay, let me see.
Yeah. Got to get that iRig. But yeah, anybody can go check out SoundCloud, Beats by Optic. You can run that. Yeah. Maybe kick a little freestyle, record it, send it in to, the homeboys. Maybe they'll put it on their Twitter page, you know?
The homeboys.
Is it working right now? Where is it? Oh. I was like, going to say.
Look at Uncle Ray, sexy mofos.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Styles incredible, unforgettable, off the top like Biggie, unforgettable. I'm back and I'm fresh like this. Yo, I got the ill itch when I'm taking off the mic. Yo, I ripped so sick. Straight off the top of the dome. I'm at home. Never had to bust chrome. Got you in the zone. Leave it alone. I'm keeping it fresh. Take you out like your last breath. Hey, yo, here we go. Never forget. I got the rhymes like that. Hey, yo, I got the beats in the back. Piled in stacks. Hey, yo, here we go again. Chilling out with ApeX and hanging out with the homies, my friends. What y'all know? Here we go. Yo, I gotta kick another flow. Pass it to my man, the flow. So let it
O
go.
to the P, T to the I to the C. Got that THC. We blazing so hot, son. Gonna take it on me. Try and take me all back, cause we an old school G. We ain't trying to flex like we ain't living like that. Shit, I'm chilling in my habitat. Average, in fact. You wanna come and get what I've been living? Chilling my same thing. We just trying to say we living and we don't change. We freestyle, rearrange my whole mind. Only thing you hear was that developing the rhyme. Beat done changed, but I'm kicking it in time. Fuck that, I can't even kick it. I got a rhyme. Old school with that rhythm and raw rhyme.
We came right on to this one. I guess it kind of came off pretty quick.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all gravy. It's all
Yeah,
gravy.
just,
Because
next
I
time we gotta get a 5-minute track.
because I know I was about to drop in. I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
all-
the next time that we rock it together, dude, let's like take some
do it.
time and we'll actually like drop some shit. Have fun.
I want to show you this one. This is called Web3 Heat. Me and Crypto Casually are working on this. This is like I did only half the song, and he's doing the other half. So this is just my half right now. So I'm just fucking with it. So here,
We'll play it out.
watch. Just listen to this really quick. If you guys can hear.
Yeah. J-Lit. Crypto Casually. Web3 Heat. Web3 Heat, not the big bucks. Let a man trust while it got a stack up. Playing along Discord. Bear market went boom, now my dick sore. Laughing at the ground, staring at my feet. Got the homie soft with his bare heat. Money to be made in the bloody streets. Got the Mary Jane, never loved me. Limitation is the government. My control manipulation is a sin. Got these rug pulls on lead. Mama in the spaces, ripping heavy. Blockchain got you fucked up. Next bull run about to blow up. For the people, by the people is real. Stack the truth with community feel. Web3 Heat about the big bucks. Let a mass trust while it got a stack up. Playing with the devil on Discord. Bear market went boom, now my dick sore. Late night, eating long hours. Uppers on, playing mine, smoking louder. Meme dumps on the rise, got your girl hypnotized into fake PFP, not verified. Twitter spaces taking over. Packing bulls all day like a soldier. Blazed out, no sleep with the Web3 Heat. Jay the Crypto Casually, fucking up the beat.
Woo!
Yeah, boy, bringing that heat, doggy dog. Fuck yeah.
So, you know,
That's dope.
just vibing, dude. So yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So mad love to you guys. You guys are awesome.
You guys are
and
so sick.
yeah, we're definitely gonna plan another one, bro. And,
Yeah.
and we'll figure it out and figure a way to meet and just vibe it
I
out.
hope we can meet at Friends Fest.
I think we'll meet at Friends. We'll meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Optic.
be out there for sure.
Yeah,
You guys
okay.
should make that happen for sure. And I won't be there, but yeah, we're thankful, man. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And yeah, we're gonna keep supporting you guys. Y'all keep building
Likewise.
and vibing. We're bullish on what you're doing, and
appreciate it, bro.
let's fucking grow.
Likewise,
Yeah.
bro. And then
See
we
you in
got
the spaces.
and then get ready, guys. You're gonna see us probably next week. You didn't tell them, Luke. Got this project, dude. I did all the character voices. This is a fucking imagine South Park, but army characters fucked up on drugs, going on missions, saving the world, dude. Because that's what we need to see. Like that's what we need to see. And like this project's about to drop, bro. Like we're behind it. Me and him, we're working on the 22-minute episode, bro. Behind the scenes. So
Cool.
Well, let us know, man. We're there to support it, and we appreciate you guys showing the love and having us on. And obviously, you can still go mint your highlights. We're 75% sold out, so you can go get those.
yeah, guys.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? 0.025, go get that. Come check me and ApeX. anytime we do a pop-up, if you follow us in Twitter Spaces, you'll see when we do pop-ups, come through, kick some rhymes, hang out, show some love, and obviously watch out for us taking over the world with the Lost Artist Collective. So that's what's up.
Go.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, bro.
I love you guys.
Mad
Bro,
love
appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to you
appreciate
guys.
you guys.
Let's go, man. Yeah. So
You know,
once again, we're gonna
I love you guys.
we're gonna go out with our
It was a
outro
pleasure.
right
Thank
here.
you.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go out with the Homeboi Flicks outro. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Peace, peace.